This program contains adult content.
Is there a God?
Big atheist.
Really?
What am I, an idiot? Come on.
That yes, it would be nice if you could throw your sins and your responsibilities on someone else. But it's not true.
It looks like far-left lunacy.
I don't believe that it's true that religion is moral or ethical.
You don't need to follow anybody!
It's not human intelligence!
If someone doesn't value logical consistency, what logical argument are you going to give them that will demonstrate that they should?
Welcome to the Godless Rebelution. Today is Friday, September 15th, and this is episode 173. My name is Dan Ellis.
I'm Ryan Duffy.
I'm Summer Devotchka.
Nice. I just gave you an uncomfortable, awkward look.
Yeah, that was kind of mean to make her do that without introducing her in any way.
Sorry, Summer. We have Summer Devotchka in studio with us. She's a friend of mine, is very awesome. She's the new president for Atheists of Utah.
Fuck yeah, I am.
And has been doing some fantastic work. Looking forward to talking more to you this evening.
Well, thanks, Dan.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down here and spending some time with us in the studio.
You're real welcome. I'm
Ryan, should we just leave? Is that?
Yeah. I mean,
it's getting
it
real
sounds
weird
like there's
in
a
here.
date going on or something.
Yeah. It's getting real weird.
We're just really good friends, okay?
Let's go hang out with Tracy at a birthday party.
Yeah, I'm missing a birthday party this evening to do this with you fine people and for you fine people out there who are listening. So happy birthday, Leanne. Sorry I didn't make it out to your birthday party tonight, but I have to record a thing for the peoples
Yeah.
to listen to. What did you guys do over the last week?
We're working on a short film, so we were working on that the last few days.
A short film
Yeah.
with little people?
Not some of them are shorter than me.
Well, there's a lot of people who are shorter than you.
Everyone is shorter than me in it. But I'll be acting in it for a quick scene.
Oh, yeah?
And I'll jump back on the camera.
Wait, so you're inserting a tall film
Yeah.
for your scene?
No, it's going to be a tall scene in the short film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is the short film about?
It's for a local Halloween
I didn't
film
say what it's
contest.
for. What is it about?
It's
Never mind.
It's about demons that kill all of us, and we do it in a Jack Black music style.
If the demons kill all of you, who's going to film the movie?
Well, that's why the demon's killing me first, so I can film it.
And what's a Jack Black music style?
You ever seen like Tenacious D, like how he does his music videos?
Oh, no.
How like he's yeah.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Not my
So
cup of
Matt
tea.
won't like
What is
it.
that?
No. I do not approve.
No.
Well, you won't have to watch it then. So go fuck yourself, Matt.
That was funny. Oh, no.
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 But
And this is for a film festival?
for it's a local film festival.
Uh-huh.
Some fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When is the festival?
October 25th.
When does the movie have to be complete and turned in?
I have to have it submitted by October 9th.
Oh, shit. All of a sudden, your mustache makes sense. You're doing it for a part.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should see the wig I gotta wear. I got a picture on my phone of it. I'll show you guys in studio. And
Okay.
My mom said I definitely look like a 70s porn star. And my mom knows what she's talking about.
Because she's seen all of the porn stars from the 70s and knows?
Probably.
Oh.
So
Oh, gross. Oh, Ryan, that is bad.
Wow.
It is bad.
Wow.
It's horrible. It's
Oh,
That's
God.
You will have to put that in the show notes or something.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. Yeah, send
Yeah.
that to me.
yeah. So there's actually what my mom said. I showed her the picture and said, like from the 60s, like a porn star.
Okay, now you do look like a porn star. That's funny.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
That's a great picture.
Thank you.
You should make that your new profile picture.
Nah, I'm good.
No? Oh, it's so good, though.
Maybe I'll put the wig on while I'm wearing the priest outfit.
Oh, right. You're a priest.
For half of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go online and get ordained to try to kill the demon that's haunting our shop.
Like in real life, you're going to get ordained, or just in?
I'm just gonna do it on my phone, like in a little quick thing. I'm gonna go.
Wait, your character?
Oh,
yeah,
your character has to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're playing
That's
ourselves
where I
as a
was
jokey
getting-
version of
Yeah,
ourselves.
we
We're
don't
all-
because we don't know. Like maybe you're a method actor, and so you were going to go get ordained for real to play this part.
Well, I can just go online and get ordained in the Church of Dudism or something.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm an ordained minister through the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
There we go.
That's my ministerial certification for performing weddings.
Yeah.
He'll be marrying me.
Fucking A, he is.
Wait, you guys are
gonna be
when are
exciting.
you guys
Wait.
getting married?
Yeah.
It's Summer and Joe are gonna do that.
Oh, I thought she said you were going to be bearing.
Yeah,
I'll
she's
be
like,
I'll be performing the ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sense it makes.
Yeah, I have done very few weddings. I usually only do them for friends.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. You're not getting. It's like it's not a profession for you.
Yeah. I think I did one for people that I didn't really know.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Summer? What have you done over the last week?
A lot of work. We're preparing for a grand opening for something down in St. George.
Uh-huh.
And so I've just been working a lot on that,
Yeah.
doing double time.
Ooh.
Other than that, not a whole lot. I got a puppy.
That's right, B.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
B's cute.
Yeah. His full name is Basil Bob Tink Devotchka.
Oh.
Tink after my old dog Tinkerbell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I miss Tinkerbell. She was adorable.
I know, she was a cute little baby.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
So super busy with work.
Yeah.
Doing something top secret in St. George.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm just gonna leave it there. And then just busy with A of U stuff because we have Provo Pride
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yep. So just been busy with stuff like that. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, fuck, dude, I'm boring. I can't think of anything else that I've done. Yelled at my kids a lot this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They probably deserved it.
Oh, definitely, definitely deserved it.
And you, Matt?
same old
Same old.
work, and that's about it.
Did you do any fishing?
No fishing.
Oh.
Some football-y stuff, but
Oh yeah, football season has officially started.
yeah,
For the boy.
I talked about it last week too.
Yeah.
So it started before last.
Well, yeah, but
week.
yeah,
It's in full swing now.
it was in full swing last week. Also,
Well, yeah, but now they got like their practice games out of the way.
Hmm.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have a good team.
Who?
Brandon's team.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's
So the other
That's
teams get to
unfortunate.
keep practicing all year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because the first game they played in Jordan, the Beat Diggers,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and beat them 40-0. So we're like, oh, this is good. But then they've gotten their ass kicked the last 2 times. So it's like maybe the Beat Diggers just really fucking suck. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that they've ever had a very good football team
Oh, okay.
that I know of anyway. And every time that we played over there, their grass was always super fucking long.
Really?
Like the field, like they should have mowed it a week prior to us.
Mm.
Yeah, it was at least a week overgrown.
Fucking growing beets, man.
when we
It's
would,
got some
when
70s
we would
bush.
play there. Yeah.
But yeah, I know when I talk about football on this show, our audience probably mostly sees that the way that I view the podcast I listen to talking about superheroes.
Maybe. I'm sure we have some sportsy fans out there.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a friend and listener of the show who contacted me earlier this week asking, and you might actually be interested. I'll talk to you about it later. Well, no, I'll just say that. He's talking about wanting to start a sports ball podcast and wanted to know about setting up all of the things, what he needed to do, how do you run a podcast, all of that kind of stuff.
Well, perfect. Then I have a lot more to my week then. So the fucking Bengals. Let me just tell you about the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wait, this isn't that show yet.
Oh, damn.
But he'll be coming in sometime next month to just sit and observe and
Just shadow.
Yeah. See what we do and why and how and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Hey, off topic. Did you guys hear that Cassini killed itself this morning?
Yes.
Well, it was murdered.
It was
I
murdered.
mean, it was told to kill itself.
Yeah.
by NASA and Saturn.
It's fucking murderers.
Yeah.
First, I was
Well,
like,
that sounds more like
who's Cassini? I'm like, oh yeah, the one that's going around was going around the moon.
Uranus.
No, that's a finger.
always funny. Always funny. More like assisted suicide, right?
I guess. Sure.
Let him die with dignity, goddammit. I don't know why I assume it's I don't know why I assume it's male.
Well, because it's sciencey. I don't know.
What? Excuse me?
I like making sexist jokes when there's a woman around.
And a lot of times
I'll
satellites
see myself out.
a lot of times satellites have phallic objects sticking out of the front of them.
Spherical, but quite pointy in parts.
Yeah.
What isn't fucking phallic though? Like you guys, like your dicks are everywhere.
A basketball.
My dick is everywhere?
Donuts
I
aren't.
don't
like-
think mine is. There are a few pictures floating around the internet.
I would have to check.
Ryan's dick is everywhere.
I'd have to check.
All over 70s porn.
Yeah. I mean,
So says his mother.
Right. And she would know.
there have been a few nights where I don't know what happened.
I've never sent a dick pic, but there are pictures of me being
Holding a
very
dick?
drunk and passed out. Actually, I don't even know if you can see my dick. I think you just see my balls.
That's not a good sign for your dick.
Well, because I was passed out and laying on my side,
Okay.
but my balls were between my legs.
You're laying
on
on
my
your
side, so it's
Yeah.
just it's like a picture of my it's a picture
Like
of my
two
ass
hairy coconuts.
sideways, and yeah, just my balls between my legs as I'm passed out, and they're in there fucking with me and taking pictures and stuff. From when I was 19. Yes, I was at least of age.
Okay.
Barely legal.
Yeah, I was barely legal. I did some things. I went and saw It.
Yeah, I saw that too. I loved it.
So what?
It.
That one movie.
Those
I
jokes.
went and saw it, I really liked it. I thought it was very good. Followed the book and the previous movie or TV series thing
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
very well. The Skarsgård guy who plays Pennywise
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking awesome as Pennywise.
Yep.
I think Tim Curry would be pleased.
Yeah.
It was creepy and scary and filmed very well. All of the child actors I really liked. Who's the nerdy kid in the library?
Yeah, his character's name was Ben. I don't remember what his real name is.
Yeah, he's a cute
Yeah,
kid.
he was adorable.
It was good. I went golfing on Tuesday. I don't think I did much of anything else besides just be busy with work and editing the show and doing other stuff like that. But that's about it for me.
Okay.
All right, well, let's talk about some other stuff then. We're going to interview Summer.
Yeah.
You ready?
I am ready.
Okay, well, let's wait just a second then.
Hey, all you dirty cis people out there who think you run the world. This is the trans podcaster, Marissa Alexa McCool, coming to say that you should go sit in the corner and listen to other people talk. And the people you should listen to are the Godless Rebelution folks, because they're the good kind of cis people. We don't have to shame them just as much. So you go ahead and listen to them, and then you come listen to us so we can tell them why they need to apologize.
The Bible is terrific. Give it a read. It's got monsters and adventures and hey, if you like torture porn, check out the Old Testament. Oh man. Any Saw fans out there? Woo! Get the Old Testament.
Please stand by. The Godless Rebelution will continue in a moment.
Hey everybody, we're the Utah Outcasts, and we want you to listen to our show.
We're a rowdy bunch of super liberal atheists that reside in the state of Utah, who bring you current events and featured content on a semi-weekly basis.
Whether it's us poking fun at the religious right or ranting at the world in which we all reside, we want to borrow your ears for about an hour twice a week.
Hey, and don't forget to tell them the best part about it.
Oh yeah!
The show's free for all.
It is indeed, so if you like free, we're available through iTunes, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, Patreon, and even in full HD video via YouTube. Give us a listen. You won't be sorry.
Thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
Getting to know you Getting to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me.
All right, Ms. Devotchka.
Legally now.
I know, right? That's a new thing.
As of Tuesday.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where have you lived in Utah your whole life? Tell us a little bit about your background, and we'll start asking questions.
All right.
As we go along.
I can do this. I love talking about myself.
Okay.
So I grew up in Las Vegas, and I was a Catholic schoolgirl for 8 years.
Hot.
Yeah, Vegas is really hot.
From kindergarten to 7th grade. And then
like at a private Catholic school?
Yeah, at a private Catholic
All
school.
girls?
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was
Okay.
it was dudes and chicks. But yeah, so I went to Catholic school, and when I was going into the 8th grade, which was the last year in the school that I was going to, my mom asked me if I wanted to keep going, and I basically was like, fuck no. No, I do not want to keep going.
Like to school period, or just to a Catholic school, or?
Well, I didn't know how bad public 8th grade or 8th grade in public school would be. So if I could, turn back time, I would know that I just didn't want to go to school anymore. But no, so I ended up going to public school in the 8th grade, and I basically really never looked back. My family wasn't really religious. They said that they were. My dad said that he was a Christian, and my mom said that she was Catholic, but we never went to church. The only time I went to church was when they forced us to go on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
That was the beginning of our school day, basically. And
wait, every week?
Every week.
Oh, so
Friday
it wasn't your parents forcing you. It was through school.
It was the school forcing us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, my parents aren't very religious. We just went every week. I was like, wait.
No, it was a school. So it was
Okay.
Friday morning mass. We would have to go and do that. And that would be every Friday morning. So we did that. But outside of that, my family, we never really went to church. We never really talked about religion at home or anything like that. But it's funny because when I came out as an atheist to my mom, and this was in high school, basically after I left Catholic school, I knew that I didn't believe in God anymore. And I thought that it was all bullshit, but, I didn't really feel like I had to come out until high school, when my mom and my stepdad started inviting missionaries over. So, and this is in Vegas too.
Like Catholic missionaries or
No,
LDS missionaries?
LDS missionaries.
Why would they invite LDS
My
missionaries over?
stepdad was baptized LDS, but he wasn't raised LDS. I don't know. And then my stepsisters and my brother were fucking wild. So I think that they thought
we need
that
some control.
Yeah. So I think they thought bringing over missionaries would make it better. It didn't.
We need a celestial babysitter kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so that's when I came out, and I was like, listen, I'm not fucking meeting with these fools anymore. I'm not doing this. Cause they'd all make us sit out in the living room, and we would have to talk and pray together. And yeah, it was bullshit. So I told her, I was like, I'm not going anymore. I'm an atheist. And she's like, oh. Well, and her reaction wasn't even oh, well, you don't believe in God? And well, why not? She was like, oh, great. I just wasted thousands of fucking dollars. She was pissed that
on the Catholic school?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
that she wasted so much money on Catholic school.
It's well, it's not like you asked, hey, Mom, can I go to Catholic school?
I know.
please?
Oh, man, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I just hope my mom never listens to this. But so it's funny because a few years ago, I asked her, I was like, we weren't ever really religious and we never went to church. I don't understand why you spent so much money, especially if you're pissed off about it now. Why did you spend so much money on me going to Catholic school? And she goes, I don't know. This is my impression of my mom. I don't know.
It's really good.
Thank you. You've never even met her, but fucking.
I know. I totally know her. Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. But she's like, I don't know. We weren't really religious. I know that, but sometimes being in those public schools, especially with living in Las Vegas, it's really scary. And I just kind of wanted to keep you away from the black kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have met your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And it's so funny because my mom is totally the type, she's like, I'm not racist, but
I just don't like black people.
I just wanted to keep you away from the black kids.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
But never hang out with those people.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, so that is basically why I ended up going to Catholic school for so long. But yeah, so I ended up not believing, and then
well, I'm sorry, were there no black kids at your Catholic school?
Dude, there was like 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Catholicism is like, in Las Vegas, it's like a Hispanic thing.
Mm-hmm.
There were a ton of Hispanic people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So she has a very specific prejudice.
Yeah, well, half of our family is Hispanic, too. So I think that she's probably a little bit more comfortable.
Well, sure. I mean, anybody who is a bigot of any kind against a particular minority, the more they get to know people in that minority, the less bigoted they are toward them, right?
Typically.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, that wasn't an issue. But, yeah. What was your question?
Oh, just if there were any black people in your school.
Oh, yeah. There were like 2.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because I don't remember how old I was, but I remember going to swim camp with the only black girl in our school. And I remember
crushing stereotypes. Nice.
I remember
You got that one a little late.
I remember her getting out of the pool, and I looked at her and I was like, wow, your hair dries really fast. And I'm just like, God damn it. Now adult summer is just like, Jesus Christ. You were a kid. You didn't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. So beyond that, after I graduated high school, I moved to Southern Utah to go to SUU for theater, which I gave up pretty quickly. But
too many black people.
So yeah, way too many black people. I was uncomfortable. My mother was uncomfortable. It just,
well, this is the deep south of Utah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't do that. But I stayed there for about a semester and shit got real gay. I became I don't remember if I was the president or vice president of the Pride Club. But that's when I came out as bisexual. And oh Lord. And so and this is when like MySpace was still popular. So my mom would see things on my MySpace and question me like, are you a lesbian? And of course, like
4 of your top 8 are lesbians.
What's going on?
The shockwave that rippled through all 1,600 people in your town in southern Utah.
Yeah. So I started getting involved in Pride. And after that, I did a little bit of traveling, came back to Utah, got married, and then moved up here to Salt Lake. And my ex-husband and I, we had no friends, 0 friends when we moved up here. And so we decided that we wanted to kind of venture out and meet people. And that's when we met everybody through Atheists of Utah.
Awesome. Where did you travel around to before?
So I ended up moving back to Vegas after my first semester because I was like, fuck this. I just want to sleep all day long and get drunk at night.
Perfect place.
Yeah. So I actually moved back to Vegas for a little while, and then I was an au pair in Germany, and I lived there for about a year before moving back to Vegas, then back to Utah.
Yeah.
Did
you learn to speak German?
No. So the family that I lived with, the children spoke English in the home before they went to school, and then in preschool they learned how to speak German because the father was American and the wife was German. And it was strange. I was 18 at the time, and I was stoked. Like, I've always been like a huge adventurer. Like, I love going on vacations by myself, and I would just rather not go with other people. You can you can do whatever you want. You can sleep until whatever time you want. You can eat whatever you want. Oh my God, it's nice. So anyways, I was super stoked about moving to Germany, especially because we knew these people. They used to live next door to us in Las Vegas before they moved back to Germany. And I got there and quickly found out that they were like a little fucking abusive. So it was an interesting experience because I was so young and like I got to explore another country. And then for my 19th birthday, I went to Italy by myself for a week. I went to Venice. But yeah, as soon as that year was up, I was like, I'm out. They were trying to convince me to like lose contact with everybody back in the States.
Oh.
And
this wasn't a cult?
Right, dude? It was fucking creepy. Like, I don't know. It's if I would have ever been diagnosed with PTSD, it would have been because of this, because it was fucking traumatic.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so I mean, other than the family being a bunch of shitheads, it was pretty interesting. But yeah, I came home and I was just like, fuck that, dude. Fuck kids. I'm never having kids. I'm never going to be a nanny ever again. But now I have 4 stepkids. But I mean, they're pretty cool, I guess.
I guess so. Wow. So a year in Germany, and then you came back to southern Utah, did you say? Or did you say you went back to Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Okay.
for a little while. And then back to southern Utah. And then, yeah, that's where I met my ex-husband. And then we decided that we didn't want to live there anymore. It's just too small. And it's like in southern Utah, in Cedar City and St. George specifically, you're either Mormon, a college student, or a meth head. Like there's no in between. And so we were in college, but I mean, a lot of the college students were pretty conservative too. So yeah, we just decided that we wanted to move up to Salt Lake to, pursue
For all the diversity.
Yeah, for all of the diversity. But yeah, so we came up here to pursue better bachelor's degrees because you graduate from SUU and then you move up to Salt Lake and you work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car for the rest of your life. So yeah, we decided to move up here to go to U of U, and we didn't want to pay out of state fees or whatever for college. Yeah. So that's why we decided to stay in Utah. But I actually really love it here.
I do too. People complain about it a lot.
All the time.
And I mean, I complain about it sometimes too, but it's not because of the state necessarily. It's because of some of the shitty people here.
Yeah, it's not the land, it's the people, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to find shitty people anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think I really like it here. I think it's beautiful when we don't have an inversion and shit, but
I just want a better beer selection in this state.
I think we have a pretty good beer selection.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have a really good beer selection.
Like, without having to go to the liquor store.
Oh, well.
Well, those are law problems, not...
Yeah, those are law problems. Yeah, so I'm like, I would like to be able to buy a 6-pack of beer I can get back in Wisconsin for $7, $7 and not $14.
And that's tied to some of the shitty people around who just happen to be members of the dominant faith
LDS.
Tradition here, who write stupid, shitty laws.
And jack up the tax on alcohol up to 86%.
86% markup over.
Over.
Yeah. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we spend so much money in Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I'm excited for Wendover's mega liquor store to open up.
Yeah, absolutely. 20,000 square foot.
It's like a 3-story liquor store?
This is in Wendover?
Yeah, they're building it right now. I'm guessing it's also going to be a weed emporium.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's a Lee's, right? That they're building out there.
Yeah, it's one there. Yeah, they're discount Lee's, like discount liquor.
But like the square footage of the liquor store is going to be a higher number than the total population of the city.
Yeah,
so,
like literally, you could put a room for every citizen of Wendover in there for them to stay.
Yeah. They're building it for Utah. travelers.
Yeah. It's way too big to support the local economy. Can't support that business. It's all fucking Utah.
Yeah, I forget. Like every time I go back down to Las Vegas and we walk into the gas station, there's liquor and like slot machines, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, where am I?
Weird.
I know. You know, it's funny because I was talking to Joel the other night.
And who's Joel?
Joel's my fiance.
Oh,
yeah. He's super cute. He's a ginger.
No,
I love you, Joel.
Gingers. God.
But yeah, I was talking to him the other night, and it was totally random. But I was like, dude, you want to hear something fucking weird? I remember when I was in school and we used to take field trips. We would go to casinos for field trips, but like, you know,
like,
the
see,
dolphin
like, the backgrounds, like how they work.
Oh yeah, totally. No, I'm just kidding. No, you know, like the dolphin habitat and like the like tiger thing in the Mirage.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you laughing about? Go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan, you jackass. We went to go see how they run a casino.
Oh, yeah,
when
totally.
we were in grade school.
Oh, were you serious?
Well, because you're not going to be able to fucking gamble.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
I figured you get to walk in the
I
back
didn't mean to be
room,
rude.
see all the money, see the chips. Like, you can't go on the floor, though. You can still
like-
grandpa cigarettes and booze.
They're like, if you don't move, you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life.
Pretty much. See, Susie, she just got done doing meth, and now she's got to wash dishes.
Oh, I don't think meth is that big in Las Vegas.
But it's cheap.
True that.
More, yeah.
True that. It's more of a thing in Utah, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I fucking
it is,
haven't lived
it
there
is,
in
yeah.
forever. But anyways, we would go to casinos like how at the Mirage they have the dolphin habitat and the lion habitat thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously, you know, we didn't go to like look at the slot machines, but we would go to that. But you'd have to like walk through the casino to like get to that part.
Okay.
And when I was younger, I think that they've changed it now where like if you have kids, you can like avoid the casino. But when I was little, you'd just walk straight to the casino. And I was just like, that's weird. I've never thought about that, but that was like a big part of my childhood. Just always being in casinos because everything's in there. Movie theaters,
Yeah.
bowling alleys. Like it's really hard to avoid.
Well, everything in Vegas is a casino. The fucking airport's a casino.
Yeah, dude. Gas stations.
Yeah.
I was telling Joel about that too. You walk into Smith's and like right where like in Smith's outside of Vegas where they keep the carts like off to the side as soon as you walk in, there's like slot machines there and then like a cashier and yeah, it's super bizarre. So
you leave Germany, go to Vegas, move to Salt Lake after
St. George.
After St. George.
Cedar City.
Cedar City.
Uh-huh. And then after like 3 years, we decided to move up to Salt Lake.
So you were married when you moved to Salt Lake?
Yeah, we had been married for a year.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Moved to Salt Lake with your husband, ex-husband, sorry. Well, at the time, your husband.
Yeah.
But you didn't have any friends. Did you guys not know anybody in Salt Lake at all?
We didn't know anybody. We were totally just like taking a risk. Like I said, I like to travel. I like to take risks.
Yeah.
And so, I was pretty much fine with it when we moved up here. But I mean, after a while, cause we were newlyweds too. So we were kind of at the point where we're okay just hanging out with each other all the time. But after like a year or so, we were like, man, fuck this. I'm sick of looking at you all day. So that's when he actually came out and said he was an atheist because he was Mormon when we first started dating. Well, he grew up Mormon. His dad was like a bishop. His dad actually married us.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was Mormon and really like up until we moved here and he had started listening to podcasts and reading a lot more, he finally came out and said, okay, well, I think I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of this shit anymore. He would actually get really pissed off at me because I didn't grow up in Utah, so I didn't really know. I mean, other than like the few things I learned from those missionaries that came over to my house when I was a teenager, I didn't know anything about Mormonism. So when I found out about tithing, I was like, what the fuck does that money go to? Like, well, it's the same thing with the Catholic Church. Like, I remember being a kid and them asking for more tuition one year for improvements to the school. And so, and I don't even remember how old I was, but I specifically remember this. And then what they did is they renovated the church. And we had like super old playground equipment that was like wood, you know, we'd like go out and get splinters every day.
Well,
and
that's how
with rusted nails exposed.
Yeah. But they took the money and they renovated the church. And I really think that now that I think about it, that is probably one of the things where I was like,
using the public school to embezzle money into the church.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it really, really bothered me. And so when, my ex-husband and I got together, I would ask him stuff because I was curious. And when I asked him about tithing, he was like, well, it goes to good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but like, have you seen their temples? Like, fuck, you know, like those have got to be
expensive.
Yeah. To like build and everything. And so I'd ask him stuff like that and he'd just go, oh, well, you don't know because you didn't grow up in Mormonism and they give food and stuff to people that need it. And I was like, well, are they selective about the people they give it to? Because I've like seen experiences where people just go in and take advantage. They won't help the needy unless they come to church and say,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I'll be Mormon.
Isn't it interesting though that he doesn't have a ready answer? That his response was basically, well, if you'd been indoctrinated too, you'd believe it.
Exactly.
Because they provide answers. They do. I don't know what they are, but they have them.
And I was just asking a question, but like his response was always like
Super
irritation and
defensive.
anger. And
Yeah.
and like he was so defensive about it. So yeah, when he decided to get over that bullshit, ooh, it was so nice. Because then we could just like shit talk together about, how stupid religion was and how hot Mormon Jesus is.
Well,
Like, right?
but you said so. You came out as an atheist to your mother in high school, right?
Yeah. Well, before that, yeah.
So how did you end up hooking up with a young Mormon guy? And did he know that you were an atheist when you guys got together?
Desperation.
Limited pool of applicants?
No, honestly though, for real. Well, he wasn't going to church. He wasn't necessarily active. He'd actually stopped going to church 2 weeks before we started hooking up. And yeah. And so I think that he knew that I was an atheist, but like it wasn't a big part of my life.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I never felt the need to talk about it
Yeah.
to anybody.
You're very much just an apatheist at the time, right? Like it just
Yeah.
didn't really matter to you. Hadn't really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like if he brought it up, I would tell him like, no, God's not real. Are you stupid? Like, you know what I mean? But I'd never really had to come out and say, oh, I'm an atheist and I firmly feel or believe or whatever. And so it never really got brought up and it never really bothered him from what I understand.
Mhm.
And I mean, he eventually got there, you know, so.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, how did his dad feel when he married you and he didn't know you were an atheist?
Wait, what?
Didn't you say that his father
Yeah, his dad married us.
married you guys, but did he know you were an atheist?
There was a lot of stuff they didn't know.
Okay. Well, did they assume you were a practicing Mormon?
No.
Okay.
They knew.
No, because you guys didn't get married in the temple, right?
No, yeah,
So-
we got married at like a bed and breakfast in Tokerville. We didn't get married in a church. But he told them that I was Catholic.
Okay.
And I don't think until he came out as atheist, he ever corrected himself.
Oh.
So I think that they just assumed that I was Catholic for a really long time. I still think to this day, I still don't think that they know that we lived together the entire time we were dating. Yeah. Because we started fucking. And then 2 weeks later, we moved in together. And we lived together for a year before he proposed.
Okay.
And then we got married 6 months later. And I think that they only know about the 2 weeks before the wedding we were living together. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they were not
Sinners.
super involved parents.
They live in California.
Oh, okay.
So it was super easy for him to lie to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
This is Matt Dillahunty, and you're listening to the Godless Revolution.
But just because you like something in a book doesn't mean you can have the thing you like in the book happen in real life. That's what crazy people want. I can't go to the White House with a bunch of Green Lantern comics and go, I want a Green Lantern ring. I saw it in a book I like. Make the thing in the book I like be here now. I would be justifiably tased if I did that. Nobody would go, hey, we have to respect his beliefs.
The next rant will start right after this.
Here follows a public service announcement for the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast. Greetings, Americans. Over here in London, we are well aware that not all of you are loud, xenophobic, racist, sexist, religious nuts.
But many of your politicians who display these frightful traits seem to be quite popular.
Particularly a certain wall-obsessed, small-handed, best-word-using, daughter-perving, war-inciting, candy-floss-headed clown.
To those of you who choose to follow such balderdash, we strongly recommend not to listen to the Two Skeptical Chaps.
It probably won't be your cup of tea.
Otherwise, give us a listen.
Each episode, we cover any news or current affairs from across the globe.
Things that annoy or delight us.
That's two, as in the number 2.
And skeptical with a K.
The wrong way to spell it. Cheerio.
Rejoining the Godless Rebelution podcast now.
Then you move to Salt Lake City. You guys didn't have any friends. You decide we need to get more friends or some friends. I want to do something else besides just hang out with you and doing whatever.
Yeah, and he wasn't really making a lot of friends at work. And I had a few friends from work, but he didn't really meet anybody. And it really wasn't until he came out that he was like, oh, well, I want to meet like-minded people. Like, that was his goal. And so I was just kind of along for the ride. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I could use more friends, but I'm a lot more like easygoing. I feel like I can like slip in and out of groups. Like, I can get along with just about anybody.
Yeah.
But he like specifically wanted to have atheist friends because this is like his newfound like
he was all in his gung-ho.
Yeah, well, you remember.
New atheist.
Yeah, like we would come to coffee and he would sit there and talk about it for hours. And so, yeah, he was super gung-ho. I just went for the coffee and the gossip. Like, that's what I'm all about. But yeah, so he was like super like gung-ho about it for a while. And yeah, and like I said, I really was just there to make friends and just to hang out.
And you went to an Atheists of Utah coffee chat. How did you guys hear about Atheists of Utah? Or I'm guessing he probably did a search
on
online for atheist groups or something.
It was probably on the Googles.
Yeah.
Or on the Facebooks, on the Book of Faces.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably something like that. I really don't remember. Being a marketing professional, I should probably go back and look at that. But yeah, I think it was just off of Google that he found you guys. And I think, wasn't there like Utah County?
There was Salt Lake Valley Atheists.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but the first thing we went to was a coffee chat, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, for a while there was Salt Lake Valley Atheists and Atheists of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I remember seeing you guys at one of the brunches. Did you ever go to one of the Sizzler brunches when we would have speakers and shit?
I think so, but I think that's like after we really knew you guys.
Okay.
The first thing that the first like big like meal get together thing that we went to was on Easter, like the very first year we started hanging out. Do you remember that when we went to Squatters? There's
Vaguely.
a picture of it on my Facebook. It was like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But we went to Squatters. It was after something, but we went there to eat. But yeah. I can't remember exactly when it was.
Well, it was Easter, so you probably sacrificed a bunny?
That's true. It was after the sacrifice. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. I'm full of knowledge.
But yeah, and so he started becoming more and more active, and we started going to more events. And then when we used to do the parties, we would go to those. And really, like, you guys just became our core friend group. And I mean, you still are, for the most part.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you guys were able to find a community and meet some friends, and I'm very glad that you moved up here and I got to meet you and everything.
Yeah.
So what happened next? You move up here, you do all of that, you get involved with Atheists of Utah. I'm trying to think of how best to phrase this. Do you know a lot about the arguments against religion or for atheism, any of the philosophy type stuff behind that, or is that just is it not a big concern for you because it never made any sense anyway?
Yeah.
Like, because just because your ex-husband, you said that he started going online and listening to podcasts and watching videos and doing all, and then he was very gung-ho, where you never really needed that, right? You realized from a fairly early age that it was bullshit. And so it wasn't that you needed to discover and study a bunch of stuff to break out of any cycle of indoctrination or anything like that. Have you since done, watched any videos, that kind of stuff, or is it still just that you didn't need any of those reinforcing things to decide that there is no God? You just realized that it was fucking silly to begin with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does. This is actually one of the reasons why I was nervous about running for the board, because I am by no means a firebrand atheist, and I am not a debater, And there's a lot of stuff that, I would say that I probably don't know. And it really isn't for like lack of caring, I guess, because I would be interested. It's probably just lack of time. And I mean, it is like I've always just felt like it was silly, so why look even more into it? I feel like...
Well, yeah, it's not like you need to convince yourself. You don't need any more evidence that there is a God, or that there isn't a God, because you never had a real belief in a God.
Yes, I never had a journey, and I feel like other people that I've known, that's what they had. Because they like struggled to find their way out of religion.
Right.
And I'm really fortunate. I never had to. And I never like lost family or friends because of it. And I think there are a few people in my life that are kind of turned off by it, but I'm like, fuck you. Like I'm the queen of not giving any shits. So I've never really cared.
Me and you are on the same team then, because I was never religious either.
Yeah,
and Ryan doesn't know shit either. So
true that.
I feel like I know enough to where if somebody says something stupid, I'm like, oh, well, this is how you're contradicting yourself. Like, one of the ones that I use all the time. You're not worried about hating gay people. Well, I guess the way that I would put it is like, you hate gay people because you say that your book, and I don't even think that it does, but you say that your book says that it's wrong, like a man shouldn't lay with another man or whatever the fuck it says. I don't know.
Yeah.
I already told you guys, I don't know. So, whatever it says, but like you choose to not worry about the part where it's like, oh, you don't mix fabrics.
Yeah.
Or you don't.
In Leviticus. Mm-hmm.
Or you don't eat meat on Fridays. I don't know.
Well, not eating meat, I mean, that's big in Wisconsin on Fridays. So every place does the fish fries on Fridays, so you can go get fish.
Dude, I honestly... Thing? Hang on. I cannot tell if
Shut
Ryan...
up, Dan.
I cannot... Dan, hang on. Honestly...
The queen of not giving a shit is speaking.
Dude, I cannot fucking tell if Ryan is fucking with me or not.
He's not.
Such a hard dude to read. I'm like realizing this. Like when we were talking about like the listeners and stuff, I was like, oh, really? Like, honestly, like, I can't tell if you're fucking with me. I'm just going to ignore you the rest of the podcast.
Don't worry. I get guys at work that do the same thing too, like, oh shit, man, he's serious? I'm like, no, I'm fucking with you, dude.
See, dude, I can't fucking tell.
But that is a real thing in Wisconsin on Fridays. Like, every place has fish fries.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's not just a Catholic thing. I don't believe. And
yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I was asking.
It definitely is a Catholic thing, but I don't know if it's limited.
It's not
to
exclusively.
So I think Wisconsin's primarily Catholic and Protestant.
Those are the two options. Yep.
Uh-huh. No, I mean primarily, but I mean as far as like there's
a lot of Lutherans, right?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, actually, 'cause I remember the elementary school right by my elementary school was a private Lutheran school, if I'm thinking right, and there was a private Lutheran high school too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember why, but it's like you're only supposed to eat fish on Fridays. Well, that's why McDonald's came out with the fish fillet.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
No.
I've heard that's why.
Yeah, that's why McDonald's, when it just was like burgers and fries or whatever, that's why they originally came out with the fish fillet. Mm-hmm. So that people would still eat there on Fridays.
So they would have business on Fridays?
Yeah. I do know shit. Look at me. But it's not about atheism. It's about McDonald's.
It's tied to religion.
Hashtag fat kid.
Okay, so you do all of this stuff. What made you decide to run for the Board of Atheists of Utah?
Oh, God damn it, Dan. I almost called you Dad.
I got tired. I didn't get tired of it. I had plenty of that when we were camping.
Okay, so really quick side story. I don't know if he told you guys, but when we were on the atheist camp out, we were all like super fucked up. And so Joel, my fiance, he turned to me and we're like all sitting around the fire. He's like, I'm going to start calling Dan Dad and see if he notices. So like for the rest of the night, Joel's like, hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, but like would say it really fast. And Dan's like, what? And he kept answering. And then I'm like so fucked up. Then I'm like laughing my ass off and I'm like, hey, Dad. Like I totally fucked it up.
No subtlety.
You missed the quick part.
Yeah. And then finally Dan was like, Do you guys keep calling me Dad?
I think that was a fun camping trip.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
But so what was it that made you decide to run for the board?
So, okay, so after being involved socially for so many years, and I think...
Well, it has been several years. I mean, it's been at
been
least
like
5 years. I think 6 years, maybe.
It's coming up
at
on
least.
6, I think. Yeah. That I've been really involved socially, and I have just... So, a little bit of like professional background for me. I work in the nonprofit sector, and that's what I studied in college. And before I worked at my current place of business, I worked for a nonprofit museum. And so it's something that's really close to my heart and something that's really important to me. I am definitely a bleeding heart liberal, like faux show. And so it's like helping my community and being a big part of it is super important to me. And like, you don't make a lot of money doing it, but anyways, it feels good. It gives
satisfaction.
Yeah. It gives you the good feels.
Yeah.
Satisfaction.
I think that's what I started saying. I'm like, wait, this is not coming out right. My tongue is not making the right moves.
Your mustache is just throwing syllables in
It
there.
is. It's getting in the way. It's starting to like curl over and take over the mouth.
Sick, dude.
I know.
As if it wasn't gross enough already.
So like I said, after being involved socially for so long and just like nonprofits being a big part of my life, I watched how, and I mean, not just the board for Atheists of Utah, but like, I mean, any fucking nonprofit, you watch how they struggle to raise funds to make their community a better place. And it's so like, it happens so often that people just totally misunderstand nonprofits. People don't understand that like especially ones where like you get paid, like we have overhead. Nonprofits I'm totally going off on a tangent here, but nonprofits that say, 100% of all donations go to, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that because of stuff like that, stuff that other nonprofits are throwing out there and just a basic misunderstanding, people don't understand how important it is to support the things that you believe in. I don't care if they made a fucking Facebook post that you didn't like or that you don't necessarily agree with. Overall, are they doing good things? Overall, are they good people? Are they trying to make a difference in your community? Well, fucking support them. And so that's really why I decided to run, because I have just watched all of these nonprofits struggle. And because, I've been so close with you guys, I kind of know, what's been going on, like what struggles you may have had. And so I kind of knew like, this is where I could jump in and I can help, especially with my marketing experience. And, I started helping out. I wasn't even on the board. Yeah, I wasn't on the board yet. But I started doing like a business plan for Atheists of Utah. And I started looking at marketing and like where we could better spend our money and like better fundraising ideas. And after that, I was like, well, I'm doing all this fucking work. I may as well be on the board too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's really important for me to be a big part of this community. And I know that I have skills that can help us really go far. And yeah, anyways, that's why it was important for me to run. And I was talking to somebody else about this the other day because they're like, well, if you're not even that passionate about atheism, why are you doing it? And I feel like if I lived in another state or if I lived somewhere where the government wasn't so controlled by the primary religion, I probably wouldn't give a shit because there wouldn't be as much of a need for a community. Mm-hmm. But I've watched kids get kicked out of their homes or their parents telling them that they're going to hell or they're bad people or, shit like that, just like terrible stuff. And people coming out of religion and not having a community, especially with Mormons. Mm-hmm. Because you like not only go to church, but you guys know, then you like do all the stuff throughout the week and all of your friends. And then if you're in high school, you do what is it called? Seminary. Yeah, you do seminary in the morning. Your whole fucking world is religion. And so when you decide to leave that, you don't have anybody anymore. And like, where do you go? And that's why communities like Atheists of Utah and the ex-Mormon group, and that's why we're so fucking important, because we're here to help those people. And so my goal is just to keep making them better, keep making them more accessible, more noob friendly.
Well, it's not like you want to do it because you wanted to debate people or hold court over atheist.
That's not my thing.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't. So if you ever see me at an event or at, Pride or anything, please don't try to debate me because I'll probably start crying. But if you want to talk about how nonprofits improve our community, and I will gladly talk to you about that.
I guess I need to put that wig on and find you and debate you sometime.
Fuck no. Oh God, I would cry for a completely different reason.
Yeah, I think just creepy. You wearing that wig and walking around in public, you'd be swarmed by officers pretty quickly.
Oh, especially if I had the van.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's plenty of people in the group that are itching for debates and conversations like that all the time. So it shouldn't be a big deal.
Oh, I hate those conversations. No, I love them. I love to talk to people who come to the booth at Pride festivals and want to debate us on why we're there. Like, why are atheists at a gay thing? Or
the gay
because there's gay atheists.
Yeah, or what does atheism have to do with pride and with gay pride, or just even the whole atheism thing? Like, well, I'm gay, but I'm still a believer, and I think you're wrong to be an atheist. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Well, but your God hates you, so I think you're the one that's wrong.
Yeah. Like,
what the fuck?
Okay, fine. You can think I'm wrong, but you're following a book that says that we should throw rocks at you until you're dead.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't, how do you square those two things, that you're going to go to hell for being who you are, and I'm telling you, you don't have to believe in that bullshit.
Like fitting a square peg in a round hole.
Matt's talking about pegging.
It really is truly annoying. I think that even though I didn't have a journey or whatever and came out as an atheist to everybody,
well, but you did have a journey.
Well, I did, but it wasn't me being pissed off at the church and researching a whole bunch and then debating people.
Struggling with your faith and worrying about going to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But so an atheist was the first. I've come out like fucking 4 times to everybody. So I think that being an atheist has helped me understand that I don't have to feel guilty for who I am and how I want to live my life. So a big part of what helped me come out as bisexual was being an atheist and just knowing what I'm doing isn't wrong. And I can like chicks and dudes, and who gives a fuck? And, as the queen of not giving any shits or fucks, it was fairly easy for me. But then coming out as, well, I don't know, pansexual and bisexual are different things, but they mean different things to certain people. Anyways, so eventually I came out as pansexual. And then a few years ago, my mom messaged me about something and we got into an argument, and her exact words, let me get into her voice. Summer Marie, are you into some weird shit? And that's when I came out as polyamorous. Ooh. Not polygamist. Polyamorous. Although I'd be fucking down for some polyandry. 5 husbands. Isn't that polyandry?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, but I guess I'll be fine with polyamory. Joel can have other girlfriends, I guess.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah. But I feel like even when I knew that I was an atheist, when I was younger, I feel like I would have been really judgmental towards people that were polyamorous. But just getting older and just keeping that in mind, that I don't have to feel guilty about anything. You shouldn't judge other people, I mean, I don't know what my fucking point is here, but basically it's helped me along in life. Just remember that there's nothing wrong with who you want to be, you know?
Well, and that there's no invisible bully in the sky who tells you that you have to live your life one certain type of way in order to be a good person. That you can only love one type of person in order to still be a good person.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this actually happened to me the other day. So I have a few friends that are Mormon, and they're like liberal Mormons. I would not be able to be friends with conservative Mormons. But I mean, they like believe in God and they go to church, but we're really, really good friends. And one of them is having feelings for her husband's best friend. And her husband knows, and they're kind of fine with it, but they won't do anything, even though she wants to. And I just told her, I was like, dude,
go camping.
Just
walk away for a little while.
And I was like, dude, like, if this is what you want and everyone's okay with it, why don't you pursue it? Like, live your life to the fullest. You only have one life to live. Like, why not enjoy it and love as many people as you can love in whatever way you want to love them? And she's like, no, we just have different morals. And oh my God, dude, that fucking pissed me off. We have different morals. Excuse me, but I am the most fucking moral person you will ever meet in your entire life. I don't lie most of the time. I don't steal.
Liar.
Like, I don't cheat. Like, seriously, like I work my fucking ass off for my community in so many different ways. Like, I work for a nonprofit full time. I'm the president of Atheists of Utah. I'm a mentor. I'm a big for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Utah. I do so fucking much for my community. Don't you dare tell me that you have different morals or your morals are better than mine. Fuck you.
What if she meant hers are worse?
Oh,
yeah.
I doubt that.
I doubt it.
But if that's what she meant, I probably owe her an apology.
That's all right.
Well, and
she'll never hear this.
It's that bullshit passive aggressive stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
she's not going to come right out and say, I think I have a little bit better sense of morality than you do. It's our morals are different.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not necessarily one's good or bad. They're just different.
Yeah.
You're just a piece of shit.
Honestly, it's the only time that we have had a big disagreement like that. I mean, other than, you know, her believing in God or whatever. It's really the only time we agree with each other on everything. Like I said, she's fairly liberal. But it took this situation for me to realize, like, holy shit, dude. Like, as liberal as she is and as accepting, I'm doing air quotes here, accepting as she is, she still has the capacity to judge me and say that I'm not as moral as her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it threw me for a loop. It was fucking crazy.
Well, because it's based on totally different things, right? I mean, for her, it's whatever's in the book, which you don't follow for the most part, right? So not only do they get to give themselves permission to declare moral high ground over everybody else, but it's in a sense, she's right. I mean, it is a different standard because for them, it's whatever God says, that's what's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not really thinking about any of that process or how do you get to morality. But I think they should. Yeah, I think she should just start calling her husband's friend Dad and see where it goes.
Ooh, yeah. but like not a really don't go Dad. Like, hey,
yeah, not like that.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Dad.
Hey,
Dad.
Oh, don't do it. Hashtag triggered. Stop.
What? Well, that's what they gotta do that. He said that, I mean, you know the game.
All right, Ryan, just stop.
I'm done.
Hi, this is Yvette Donchermont, aka the Cybabe, and you're listening to Godless Rebelution. You can find me at cybabe.com, at my Twitter account at the Cybabe, and if you've hunt really hard, you can find me at Pornhub. I dare you.
You've got to respect everybody's beliefs. No, you don't. That's what gets us in trouble. You have to acknowledge everyone's beliefs. And then you have to reserve the right to go, that is fucking stupid. Are you kidding me? I acknowledge you believe that. That's great, but I'm not going to respect it. I have an uncle who believes he saw Sasquatch. We do not believe him, nor do we respect him.
Thank you to everybody who has rated the show on iTunes and Stitcher and are following us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And to all our Patreon patrons, you make the show possible.
You discussed having a business plan for Atheists of Utah, and I have to say that I was very, very impressed. So it all kind of started when you and Tracy just were sitting in the kitchen one day, chatting about stuff.
Bitching.
Yeah. Okay. So you were sitting.
Let's be honest. I told you I don't lie.
You guys were sitting in the kitchen bitching about a number of things going on in the community and with Atheists of Utah, and just the turnover that we've gone through for board members and for members at large and stuff like that, and talking about ways that we need to improve and different situations that we've run into that we don't want to have to deal with in the future, or would like to cut down as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it was just the two of you having a rap session back and forth, and you started throwing out all of these great ideas, and Tracy was like, hey, yeah, that's awesome, and you should think about running for the board maybe, and you started developing this business plan. What is the business plan, and what are your plans for Atheists of Utah going forward?
Well, first, I just want to mention, when Tracy and I were talking, it was mainly marketing stuff that I was going over. Like, you could do this, and nonprofits get this thing called Google Grants, where you can do Google AdWords for free. It's like up to like $10,000 a month.
And that ain't cheap. Yeah, Google
I know.
ads are pricey.
Google is fucking fantastic.
That's probably
Especially
why I
when
get
you're
so
a
many
nonprofit.
LDS ones coming up on the side of my pages.
They do a lot
Maybe.
for nonprofit organizations.
They do. They're really, really great. And so I was telling her about that, and I was like, oh, well, you could start promoting posts on Facebook just for a few dollars. And then okay, so what I actually studied in college is a little bit complicated. So my major was in Parks, Rec, and Tourism. And then my emphasis area was in hospitality management. But it was a fairly new program, so I kind of got to pick and choose what I wanted to work on. And I primarily worked on business and nonprofit management. And so that's why I kind of got into this. So anyways, I was talking to Tracy, and I was telling her about how you could set up a business plan and how it could keep us on track for years to come. And as long as the board agrees to follow it and only change it if everybody agrees, it could be really great. And she was like, oh, do you think that you could put something like that together? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, maybe if I had the time sometime in the future. And like 3 days later, she messaged me and said, so when can you have that business plan done?
And so
that's the backstory.
And for people who may not know, Tracy's my partner. We've been together for 6 years now, and she's the one, like, I'm very outspoken, and people know about me just because I post a bunch of shit on Facebook, and I like to argue with people on the internet, but she's the one who does, like, the lion's share of all of the heavy lifting behind the scenes of all of the administrative stuff and ordering things and controlling our online presences and all of that. Like, she's amazing at doing all of that kind of shit, to where I'll set stuff up, like I set up the Facebook page and the Twitter and the
Twitter
and
the Reddits
and the Amazon link thing, so I'll hear about something and I'm like, oh yeah, we need to do that, and I'll go and set it up initially, and then I neglect it or just don't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. And then she's the one who picks up the slack and just starts doing all of the things with it and maintaining it all. And so she, while not an official member of the board, is our executive administrator or something like that.
Yeah, she's really great.
Yeah, and she does a shit ton and is awesome. But most people would not really know that she does anything because she's not out there and is outspoken, but she does so much for Atheists of Utah. I think she's very much underappreciated, and I think she prefers it that way as well. Like she would appreciate kudos and likes thanks from other members of the board for things that she does, but she's not at all interested in talking to people.
Praise.
Yeah. She doesn't want a round of applause when she walks into a room.
Yeah.
She's happy to let you be the gingery face of the group.
Yeah. She does not like dealing with the public at all. And so this is her way of contributing. And yeah, I like dealing with the public for the most part.
You're pretty good at it.
Dude, honestly, I hate dealing with the public.
Oh, yeah?
But I have been given the gift. I've been given the gift by God of
the gift of the gab.
The gift of the gab and the schmooze. So I can schmooze like a motherfucker. But you better believe as soon as I get home from whatever event I'm at, I sleep for like 12 hours. I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't even say my name. Just get out of my house. Seriously. Like after the picnic that we did, last weekend or the weekend before? Yeah, I was like, fucking on it. I was like, here's all this stuff for the kids and come over to our merch table and oh, it's so nice to meet you. And I genuinely do like talking to people, but I am an extreme introvert and a lot of people don't know that about me because in public I come off as an extrovert and I'm just very live most of the time. So that's why if you ever think like, damn, Summer's being a bitch today, I'm not. I'm just like not on. Yeah. I'm not performing. But yeah, after that, I went home and I could have slept for 3 days.
Yeah.
I was just so overloaded with like.
Yeah, and Tracy's the same way. I mean, she's very introverted. If you run into her at any events, she's usually very warm and friendly and whatever, but it does. I mean, it takes a lot out of her that we'll come home and she's just like, all right, now I don't have to talk to anybody for a week. Yeah. I've got my people quota in for the entire week and now I'm done.
Yeah.
I didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
That's why we have a really great relationship because we totally have an understanding. Like yesterday she called me and I'll get back to the business plan, sorry, in a second. But yesterday she called me and she just started talking about her dentist for a really long time.
She told me about it.
Yeah. She started talking about her dentist. It was just like totally random that she called me and she started talking about her dentist for a really long time. And after a minute, I was like, is this why you called me? And she goes, well, I wanted to tell you some other stuff too, but I can just message it to you. And I was like, okay, great. Cause I do not want to be on the phone with you anymore. And like, no hurt feelings, dude. Like no hurt feelings. Cause she fucking gets it. She's like, all right. Well, I'll talk to you later. And it totally.
She came up to my office and told me about this. She's like, so yeah, I got home and I called Summer and I don't know, just because I got out of the dentist, I just started rattling off things about my visit and everything with her. And I guess I was just going on. And finally Summer's just like, did you have something to talk to me about? Or did you just call to tell me about your dentist?
Like, I could really care less about your day. Do you got any cookies?
Or at least about your dentist visit. Like, come on.
Oh, dude,
man.
It's funny because after I said that, she was like, well, you asked me how my day was, and so I'm telling you. And I was like, fuck, I really need to stop saying that at the beginning of conversations.
or it's like when someone has a story about the dream they just had, and you're like, oh, God.
Come on, man.
I don't agree with that. I love telling people about my dreams.
Yeah, no, but I mean, on the receiving end, they hate listening to it.
Well, whoever listens to me babble on about my dreams, please continue doing it because it's important to me.
Well, they're probably just doing their taxes in their head.
Yeah. Like, yeah, And then you were married to Michael Keaton, the alien?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I think the reason you and Tracy were having your pitch session about stuff,
is that what we're calling it when women get together? Ooh.
Can he leave?
He said it.
See, I was just being honest. You're being a dick.
Oh, he's the one that said it.
Well, I think we had a event somewhere fairly close to that period of time, and that kind of turned into a shit show, and we were like, I don't want to do any of those anymore.
Was it one of the parties? I
think so.
Yeah, because I stopped going to them. I actually stopped going to stuff for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of stuff just got, and a lot of you guys weren't on the board anymore, and because we had like a really like close knit group, and a lot of people just kind of drifted away. As did I. I had other stuff going on in my life though, taking on Joel's 4 kids, and I got a new job and was going through a divorce and whatever. But, so that's basically what started it. And we started talking about it. And then I started going off on marketing and how there should be a business plan. So my plan for Atheists of Utah right now, and I mean, this will take years. So don't expect anything out of me too quickly, guys. But it will take a while. But really what I want to do is I want to focus more on the community and not in like a party way. Like, hey, let's all like get fucked up together. Yeah. Like that's not why I want to exist. I want to exist for the purpose that I stated before. Like after religion, you don't have anywhere to go, or hey, you're living in Utah and everyone's fucking Mormon. Like we're pretty cool. Come hang out with us. And also the good without God, doing better in our community, and then getting a little bit more political. And in other states, that may not be a big deal. But here, like we discussed before, it's super fucking important because the Mormons have their hands in everything.
Fucking everything.
Everything here. Yeah. And it's really important for us to be able to speak out and send out press releases and stuff like that. So, I mean, damn, dude, there's a lot to the business plan. It's taken me months. But basically, I kind of laid out like what events we're going to be what we're going to be focusing on event-wise in the future. And for the board members, there really wasn't like a set, because we don't pay anyone. Like, I just want everybody to know we're volunteers. We don't get paid.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a set of to-dos for any of the board members. And so it would just kind of, at board meetings, it would just fall into whoever's lap. And I was like, well, this is probably what's taking up so much time at board meetings. People just need to be responsible for certain things. And if they need help, they ask for help. And so we kind of divvied out all of the different responsibilities between the positions and stuff like that. And I also suggested that, a lot of us aren't nonprofit professionals. And there is a lot to gain from courses that you can take on how to run a nonprofit. Or even if your responsibility isn't raising money. I mean, anything helps. I mean, I go to conferences all the time and I sit in fundraising sessions. Even though I'm not a fundraiser, it still helps because they talk to you about your brand and how to tell your story and get people engaged. So I thought that it was really important that our board members kind of have a little bit of a professional background when it comes to nonprofits, or running a nonprofit. And so I suggested that we start going to UNA classes whenever they're available. And UNA is Utah Nonprofit Association. And they're super, super great. If there are any other nonprofit professionals out there, look it up. It's super great.
Well, and real quick, I think that was one of the most important things that you highlighted as far as an organization, is that we should shift away from being a social party group and more into a professional nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
If we want to be taken seriously, we need to behave seriously and put in serious changes moving forward to become a professional nonprofit organization, not just a group of volunteers who are trying to build a community and do what we can when we can. We need to set out a focused business plan with goals and objectives that we need to reach and maintain. And like I said, just become a much more professional organization.
Yeah, exactly. That was really, like you said, my primary focus when putting all of this together. In my experience, this is me speaking, not the organization, but I noticed that one of the reasons why I kind of fell away, it started becoming a popularity contest. And I think that our last election goes to show you, now that we've changed, nobody wants to be on the fucking board because it's not a popularity contest.
You're going to have to fucking work.
Yeah, exactly. There are only two people that ran. It was Kyle, who's already on the board, and then me. So I think, like I said, that definitely goes to show you that, like, if you set out to be more professional, to have a bigger impact in your community and not just be there to, get drunk and stuff with your friends, like, you will start bringing in more professional people with skills that can help move the organization along. So that was a really big part of the plan. And another important part is financials and marketing and kind of where to spend that money, because the money that we spend is on events for people, for like our community and for members, and the marketing is really important because that's how people find out about our stuff. Those are two sections that I'm currently still working on. But yeah, I would say that those are probably the most important parts. Like Dan just said, our objective is to become more professional.
Well, yeah, and I think part of that is because we want to be able to better represent the atheist, skeptic, free-thinking, agnostic, whatever you want to call yourself, community here in Utah. And I get very, very frustrated when something comes up in the legislature that has something related with religion, and they contact the LDS Church. They'll contact the LDS Church. They'll contact the local Catholic diocese. They'll contact the synagogue. They'll contact the whatever local mosque. They'll bring in religious leaders from all of these other denominations,
but we don't have a voice.
Don't even think to include the quickest growing and one of the largest demographics within the state, which is non-believers.
Or don't want to.
Don't want to. And we need to focus more on increasing our visibility and representation within that community to better represent our own community. Well, and I think what you're doing to help us along that path is really, really important.
That's what I was going to kind of ask. Like, how do you think we should go, or the community should go about getting more involved in politics? Is it when a bill comes out to actually try to voice your opinion on the bill? Because I know, being a nonprofit, you're not really allowed to endorse a candidate or campaign for a person.
Right.
There's nothing that says that if a bill's being passed and you think it's going to negatively impact the community, or if you think it's going to have a positive impact but has a really unlikely chance of passing, to be able to go out and voice your opinion, try to get stuff out and write articles or op-eds to try to get out there so people can see, oh, these people have a voice, and try to make it bigger that way.
Yeah, because the only time that we've ever really been approached is when it's been something super negative about us.
Yeah.
Like making atheists look bad. And we need to be ahead of the game. Yeah. We do. We should. I mean, God, I don't want to suggest a fucking blog, because Jesus Christ. I try to do that at my job, and it is difficult. Sorry. I
was just gonna say, like a lot of the big religious freedom bills that keep getting passed around different states and keep coming up and keep getting changed. I mean, I see those as a perfect example of a bill when something's happening to it, to go out there and voice an opinion on it.
Yeah, exactly. We need to be heard. And right now, we're not even saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be heard. We want to have a voice, but we're not. I mean, granted, we're all really busy, but we're not saying anything. I forget what it was. Recently, we sent in a press release about something. We didn't get a response back, but hey, we did it. And, we're going to continue doing that from now on. And I think that we're pretty good about posting stuff on Facebook and posting our opinion about it. But you're right. We can't support specific politicians.
Yeah.
But we can go out and we can say, this is our opinion on this bill, and this is why it shouldn't pass, or it should pass, or whatever.
And I think it should happen more often, because if they slam the atheist community for doing it, then you could go right back and say, well, you have no problem with the LDS Church having an opinion
running the entire
on
state,
every single fucking bill. And we always notice that whatever their opinion on that bill is, that's usually the way the votes go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it's not even that they give a shit one way or another if the LDS Church says something or not. They specifically approach the LDS Church and say, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's behind closed doors.
Not always.
No. Well, especially when session starts and they all go to meet with the fucking, was it the Quorum of the 12? They meet with all the head dogs when session starts.
Is it Decorum of the 12?
I guess,
yeah, Decorum. They're really decorative now. They got a lot of glitter, and one of them has a really cool thong.
I guess I was referring more to not state legislators themselves, but news organizations and media here locally.
Yeah.
They don't always come and talk to Atheists of Utah, but they will reach out to the LDS Church
for a statement,
and see what they think about something.
Because of that causes a lot of apathy amongst our community, especially in Utah, because we just feel like, oh, well, what the fuck difference can we make?
It's going to happen whether we do anything or not.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when we, as an organization, aren't speaking out and like representing our community. I
think it's
in the void of us not saying anything, we allow others to rush into that void and speak for us or on our behalf, or to just discount us entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm interested in getting people more interested in politics. I want people to feel like you can make a difference. I mean, I don't know. This is just my opinion again, but I think that we saw a lot of that with this last presidential election. People don't care, so they don't fucking vote.
Yeah.
And look at what you bastards did. Look at what you did. But I don't want that to happen here. I want our community not just atheists, air quotes again, like the whole secular community in Utah. I want them to know that you have a voice and we can help you be that voice. We're here for you and we want to fight for you. And that's why you supporting us is greatly appreciated. So we can be here for each other.
Well, and even beyond just representing our own community, I am more than happy to work with other faith groups on things that we have in common, things that we can do together to improve the lives of the broader community in Utah as a whole. You know, when they have religious panel discussions for different things and they want to see how it affects different members of different belief systems, I want them to fucking contact Atheists of Utah also so that we can have a representative there to speak for the secular community. It shouldn't be only those who have a belief in a supernatural deity who get to talk about their belief on any given subject.
Especially when it affects the mass.
Right.
Everyone gets affected by these bills that get passed, not just the religious.
Right.
To me, it seems like they're not ever going to do that until there's some sort of leverage that the Atheists of Utah group has in the state at some point. Even if it's just a ton of visibility.
Have you seen how cute I am? They're going to come talk to me.
Well, I mean, there's that.
I think I agree with you, Matt. It is definitely going to be an uphill battle, but that is the thing, is getting that visibility out, forcing them not to be able to ignore you anymore.
Yeah, well, and
that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. How do you get to that point?
Yeah, well, and as part of that, whenever we are contacted by the media, one of the first questions that they ask is, how many members do you have? And when people aren't paid members of an organization, or you have a very small number, that's very easy to dismiss you.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I am a member of CFI, FFRF, American Atheists, Richard Dawkins Foundation before CFI took him over, Satanic Temple, all of these organizations that I know represent my values or my values for the most part. I make sure that I speak with, I let my money speak for me and add to their number so that when they're contacted for something, they can say, oh yeah, we have this many members.
Yeah.
We are, and this is the number of people who are willing to send us money to help represent their interests. And until that shift happens and we get more people who are willing to, even if you're not spending money to become an official member, though, it's, I think, a pretty small amount. I think most people over the course of a year can afford the $25 to become a paid member. But until people realize that it's not just complaining about something on the internet that it's going to get anything done. You have to put your money where your mouth is and go out and actually do something and support these organizations both with your time, effort, and your money. That until that happens, politicians won't give a fuck about you.
Yep.
Like, unless you can go to them and say, I represent X number of people and growing, and we want to let you know that what you're doing is harming us, is harming our community, and we're going to fucking vote against you. We don't like what you're doing. We're going to work together as a group to make sure that what you want to do doesn't happen.
And if you can't afford the membership, show up to our events. Because a lot of the times we take numbers for our events. Or at least do the fucking census and be honest, all right?
Well, and until that changes, I mean, it's the same thing with media, right? New media with blogs and podcasts versus old media, newspapers and magazines and radio broadcasts and stuff like that. They have a voice because they have money behind them in order to do those things. And so people have to decide, okay, do I want to allow
Alex Jones,
rich people or the moneyed interests to be able to have this much larger and outsized voice that I can't compete with? Or will I start stepping up and making contributions to those organizations, groups, podcasts, magazines, blogs, whatever, that I want to have a larger voice as well.
And if you don't think that's true, I think a really good example of that is, what is it, Prop 8?
Oh, yeah.
Prop 8 in California.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a documentary and stuff about it too. But the biggest reason why people voted no, yes. I don't know shit, guys. I'm sorry.
I can't remember which way it went.
But I mean, anyways, like the LDS Church played a really big part in why gay marriage
was
became
blocked.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have the numbers, they have the money.
Yeah.
They were able to pay people or get volunteers to sit in call centers. Yeah. To sit in call centers and go door to door and to call people in California. I mean, I know.
Donate a ton of money toward the effort and printing out flyers and sending email and
I think they spent something like $30 million on that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, I can't remember what the number was, but it was
I thought
a whole lot of
they
money.
when they came out and said, "Oh no, the church only spent," they we only spent like $2 million. Like, well,
it's like, oh, phew.
Only $2 million. Well,
God.
like it's only $2 million, but then when people look at the numbers, like, no, it was way more than that.
Yeah. So that's what the tithing goes to?
Yep.
Oh, I gotta tell my ex-husband.
Shunning the gays.
But yeah, so I think that you're totally spot on, and that's a really good example of where showing up and volunteering and putting your money into something that you believe in really makes a difference. So don't feel hopeless.
Yeah, well, and I don't mean to discount bitching on the internet about stuff or making posts about it and talking about it, because I think that is all very important as well, and you should share that information with as much people as you can. Talk to people about it. Share bits of information, share links to podcasts or to different blogs that you like or articles that come out. I keep telling you guys about the Ta-Nehisi Coates piece that he wrote for The Atlantic that I think was just fucking amazing. I wish everybody would read that because it's brilliant. I can't begin to say enough about it. I think everybody should go out and read it.
One, it's good for many. I've only gotten halfway through listening to the audio of it until my phone decided to stop playing it. But it's not only the what's going on currently, but the history
of how we got
to here, which is kind of I guarantee almost, and unless you're a huge historian, you're going to learn something.
Yeah.
This is New Name Noah, and you're listening to the Godless Rebelution.
What if I 1,000% believed, and I believe this 1,000%, what if I believed that there was a giant invisible anus hovering over me? And if I wasn't nice and helpful and courteous and charitable to everyone I met, the anus would appear, suck me up into it, and I would be devoured by shit piranhas. And I believe this 1,000%. I would be the nicest guy you ever met. You'd be like, Patton, you're so helpful and charitable and courteous to people. Why is that? And I'll go, it's funny you should ask me that. You can't see it, but there's an invisible anus hovering over me. And if I'm not nice to everybody, it will appear and suck me up, and I'll be eaten. Well, I don't need to tell you about the shit piranhas. We all know about those, right?
If you have questions, comments, concerns, compliments, corrections, criticisms, or concepts for content, contact the show via email at godlessrebelution@gmail.com, by text or voicemail at 330-81-REBEL, or Twitter the twatter at TGR Podcast. Thank you!
We mentioned that you are also a part of the polyamorous community here in Utah. And I've noticed that it's a pretty big thing, or I don't know, maybe it's just within the crowd of people that I hang out with because they're primarily atheists.
And more open?
Yeah, and more open to that kind of thing. But it seems like there is a large polyamorous community here in Utah that I don't know that you would necessarily find in other places as easily. Do you know? I mean, is it for the population size here, is it a really large polyamory community, or is it something that's just kind of popping up all over the place, or is it just within the atheist community kind of thing, or do you know much about that?
I mean, I speculate that it has a lot to do with, what's the word? Sexual
permissiveness?
Repression?
Thank you. Repression. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. I think it has a lot to do with sexual repression.
Mhm.
And so when people either come out of the church or, I mean, just even growing up here in general, I think it just tends to make people more promiscuous. And I don't mean that in a bad way. No slut shaming here. Sluts are good. But
some of my favorite people.
Yeah, some of my favorite people are sluts. But yeah, so I think that that's probably what it is. And honestly, we get like a huge influx from time to time of people that, and I don't know if this is just Utah or if this is like other polyamory communities in different states, but a huge influx of people that like just can't get laid. So they think they have more options in the polyamory community. And it's like, no, you still have a bad personality and a bad dick in the poly community too. You know what I mean? I don't really like, I don't get it, but we get a lot of that. Like every once in a while we'll have like 25 new people and all of these people start messaging me on OkCupid and like, hey, I'm kind of new to polyamory and I hate to be a dick, but like most of the time I'm just like, not interested.
Noob.
Or yeah, noob. Or I just don't message them back because it's like, I'm not looking to just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking to just like hang out and be friends with benefits. Like polyamory isn't that for me. It's the ability to be able to, and we talked about this before, being able to love people openly and freely and as many people as you want, as long as you're doing it ethically.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I was going to say, what exactly is polyamory? I mean, we hear of people who are polyamorous, and I think a lot of the time, particularly here in Utah, for people who are not a part of that community, they hear polyamory and they get it confused with polygamy a lot of the time.
Oh, people think I'm a
especially
polygamist.
here in Utah, right?
Yeah, people think I'm a polygamist all the time. And
Yeah.
I just look at them like, honey, do I look like I fucking want to like serve one dude and not be able to fuck anybody else? Like, come on. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But yeah, we get confused for polygamists all the time. But it's not that, because in polygamy, it's really about one man having multiple wives, and polyamory is so much more open. It's about a married couple that have a girlfriend that they can share, or like in Joel and I's situation, he dates people and I date people. Sometimes we fuck people together, but that doesn't happen all the time. It's mainly like he does his thing and I do my thing. And then every once in a while we get together like a big family and have barbecues or game nights. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, dude, it's like really normal. It's a lot more normal than people think that it is. It can be complicated depending on the type of person that you are and the way that you deal with your jealousy and stuff like that. But polyamory is not, let me repeat, not a way to fix your marriage. Because a lot of people do that too.
Mhm.
They'll think, oh, well, we've been married for so long and we've just had each other.
Things are getting a little boring.
Yeah. And no,
This will
not-
spice it up. It'll refresh our relationship with each other.
Yeah. Because true swingers and polyamorous people, they can be swingers, but swingers are not automatically polyamorous.
Well, what's the difference there? What's the difference between being polyamorous and a swinger?
So if you're just a swinger, you're
just one of those swingers.
You're just one of those swingers.
Yeah.
So if you're a swinger, you're basically out to just fuck people and have a good time. Like
Okay.
one night stands,
Like party.
basically.
Hmm.
There's no emotion. You're not supposed to fall in love. And that's an agreement that a lot of couples come up with. Like, oh, well, we can fool around with other people, but we're not allowed to fall in love or like, have feelings for other people. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because especially if you like enjoy being around somebody and you're intimate in that way, it's just natural for you to fall in love or for you to like have feelings.
Have emotions.
Yeah. It's natural to have emotions. It's, we're humans. But in polyamory, like it's, like I said, it's so much more open where you can be whoever you want to be. You can love who you want to love. It really depends on what your agreements are with your other partners. There are some couples that consider themselves primaries, which is fine. It's like couples that have been married for a while. They have kids together. They have to make each other their number one priority. Joel and I kind of do that because although his kids are not my kids, I have taken on the responsibility of living with him and raising his kids because we have them full time.
They're basically your kids also. I mean,
they are. They're my kids, and they either call me mom or stepmom or whatever. So they're basically my kids. And then Joel and I, we share finances. And so we don't, because of what it means to call somebody your primary a lot of the times in poly communities, we don't like to come out and say, oh, he's my primary. Because that normally means like, oh, this person is more important than you. But that's not necessarily true in our case. Everybody is just as important as everybody. But like if I get into a car accident and I go to the hospital and Joel's on a date, like he's going to fucking leave that date and come to the hospital. You know what I mean? Or like Joel's like out of town or what, like he's obviously going to come home and take care of me because I'm the one that needs him the most at that point in time. But there are a lot of couples that do the veto rule where they can just say, oh, well, I just don't like this person. So
I thought you were talking about some Italian guy.
Yeah.
Where they bring in Vito.
Yeah. Vito is very popular. All the women love him. And sometimes he comes in to fix the situation.
Well, it's funny. I thought of one very specific Italian person because I heard the DeVito rule. Or not but I heard DeVito rule. Yeah.
Well,
they bring in DeVito rule. That's what I heard.
He will fit in a large, like, trunk suitcase. You just roll that suitcase in, open it up, and he pops out naked, all oiled up like he does in Always Sunny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know how many other polyamorous couples do that, but Joel and I are definitely into the DeVito rule.
Oh, yeah.
Rule. Totally. But yeah, so there's the veto rule. And your partner can basically say, well, I don't like this person, so sorry, that's not going to happen. And that's really unfair because a lot of the times you can be jealous or you could just be in a bad mood and not really be thinking. And that's not an ethical thing to do, in my opinion. So that's not how I do polyamory.
Well, I could imagine that it quickly gets into this revenge thing. Like, you know, one person just like, nope, I'm not going to, that's out. That person's totally out. And then the other person's like, well, fuck you. Next time you want someone, I'm just going to veto them. And
yeah,
it goes back and forth. And then it's just.
Exactly. And that's why polyamory doesn't work for a lot of people. And there is such a bad perception of what polyamory is and like what it does to families. I mean, like Joel's ex-wife's family, they are convinced that polyamory destroyed their entire family. And it's like,
yeah, it wasn't that she was just a shitty fucking human being
and was addicted to meth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That didn't end the marriage. It was because Joel wanted to fuck other women.
Yeah.
Even though she was fucking a bunch of other dudes. But
meth was her primary, right? So,
yeah. Meth was her primary. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can do polyamory, and there are so many books out there and like so many blogs that you can read about how to maintain your relationships, how to do it ethically. Cause there's a lot of shit out there. I'm not saying that polyamory is the way to do it, cause there are, I believe that it's a lot more natural than monogamy, but I also understand that monogamy is a lot easier for some people and they just don't.
And is also natural, right?
Well, I mean, it's become natural amongst our species.
So you don't think there's anything natural about monogamy among human beings? I'm just exploring. No. I don't really have an end
I would
game.
say
I'm
historically, no. Over the longer spans of recorded history. I mean, there's a lot more cases where monogamy wasn't the
maybe for
de facto norm
for kings and stuff, but for the majority of humans, I think it was.
So this is how I feel. And there are studies and stuff that have been done on this. I am not knowledgeable of them, but from what I gather, from what I've read, it isn't natural to be monogamous. It is better because of the way our society is set up. because of like,
it's more conducive to maintaining a productive society kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And as far as going into that a little bit more, give me some time to read some books and some studies. but yeah, that's basically it. I do think that being polyamorous is a lot more natural, like as an animal, we're animals. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. And there are a ton of things that we can talk about and explore.
Your opinion, man.
My opinion is important, okay?
Well, since you haven't listened to the Tim episode, because he was saying that the whole fucking time.
Well,
I thought you were doing a Tim throwback.
Oh no, I was no.
Oh, that totally reminded me of that fucker.
No, it's from a movie. What movie is that from?
That was from The Big Lebowski.
That is true. That's from there too. But
Yeah.
I remember Tim kept going, "Well, fuck, man, just listen, dude. You're not getting it."
But yeah, like I said, there's a ton of stuff that we could talk about, and how it works, and how other people do it, and how to maintain a relationship, how you decide to do it, like how you start once you decide either by yourself or with a partner that you want to explore polyamory. And really it all comes down to, you need to be honest, like fucking more honest than you've ever been in your entire life. And you have to like be so empathetic. It's fucking disgusting. Like those, and lucky for me.
Well, because it
I'm
quickly
super
becomes,
empathetic.
it quickly becomes messy if you're not, right? I mean,
Definitely, yeah.
Because then you're having to maintain all of these different lies and backstories and everything. But if you're, so I've heard it also referred to as when Richard Carrier came to town and was talking about it, he called it ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah, ethical non-monogamy. Yeah.
Where you're just open about what you're doing and who you're seeing and all of that, and sharing all of this with all of your partners or anybody who at least wants to know about it anyway. And just being completely honest with everybody about it.
Yeah.
That you're not hiding anything that is later going to cause hurt feelings from anybody. It's openly discussed and just all very above board.
Yeah. And a lot of people, like I said before, a lot of people just go into it like, oh, this will fix my marriage. Or like, oh, sweet, I get to fuck a bunch of chicks. No, dude, it is hard. Even if you're like a solo or like a single polyamorous person, which means you don't have like a primary or a live-in partner or whatever. It's fucking hard. It takes so much time to listen to all these different people's feelings, and you have to like go through and work stuff out with all of these different partners. And I'm not technically dating anybody else at this point because I have way too much to do. I can't be worrying about another partner, and that's just a decision that I've made.
You can't be juggling that many balls. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, exactly. except the one dude that I'm talking to, the Jewish guy that I'm talking to.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really know where that's gonna go. We're just talking right now.
Do they have like little teeny tiny condoms that only go on the back of their head? Like a little yarmulke condom? No, never mind. We'll cut that too. Wait. A yarmulke condom. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep it.
For the other head.
We'll keep that.
Okay. I was like thinking like head.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, I didn't.
I was little
not,
teeny tiny sideburns.
I can't see. I can't see your hands. So
No,
like
that's
I didn't
true,
know
yeah.
you were like meaning like.
Oh, he's been
like,
playing with himself the whole time.
Yeah, it's totally out over here.
Usually we have a sheet or something between, so I don't have
But
to see what's going on over there.
You decided to just,
watch,
keep it open, just watch. Man, I've had a really rough week. I just need to like check out Matt's dick for the next few hours.
Sometimes you're a watcher, sometimes you're not.
Oh, anyways, just to wrap up, yeah, there's a lot we could talk about.
Wrap up.
It's super. Wrap it up, kids. It's really tough. Like there are so many times where I tell Joel, like, fuck, dude, I wish I was a monogamous person sometimes because life would be so much easier, but I'm just not.
Well, yeah, because, and I mean, clearly I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that because you're not just swinging, you're not just out to fuck somebody, you're having an emotional as well as possibly physical relationship with other people. So, of course, the more people that you involve in that, the more complicated things become. You're not just, I have somebody who's my primary or my husband or whoever, and then I also just fuck people on the side that I don't really give two shits about them. We're just having sex. There's an emotional connection, I'm guessing, with polyamory versus just swinging.
Yeah, that's true. But I do fuck people that I have no emotional connection with.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story.
Well, and that's totally fine.
You could do both.
Which is fine. It's fine.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. No slut shaming. But yeah, I mean, there aren't any like limits as long as you're being ethical and moral. Like, you don't have to say,
well, it's
I'm
not
this
ethical
kind of
or
person.
moral to do more than one person at a time, Summer Marie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Sorry about that. I forgot that I'm not a very moral person.
Well, it is
Joel Rodica.
Please cut that out. I still don't get it.
It's stupid. There isn't really even a joke there. It's just important.
No, you know what I thought you were saying? Joe Erotica.
Oh, yeah.
You know that weird guy that was like running for president? The
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
He was on Tosh, right?
I don't remember.
I vaguely remember that guy.
Yeah.
Was he the guy who can give everybody a pony?
I think so.
Wasn't that Vermin Supreme?
Oh, yeah, it was Vermin Supreme.
Oh, yeah, Vermin Supreme.
Right.
Why the fuck didn't we vote for him?
Right?
I'd take a pony.
Hindsight.
He wasn't on the ballot in this state.
Oh.
He was much more
could've written him in.
eloquent than our current president, for sure.
And he had solid plans for ponies.
Solid pony plans.
Solid pony plans.
Well, but honestly, that's what Trump promised too. It wasn't any better. It wasn't any better. I mean,
he was going to make that wall out of ponies.
Yeah, but essentially, that's
That is
the alt right.
fucking cute.
That's the alt right's pony, right? Is the wall and all this nonsense that he's never going to do.
What?
Oh,
but
there's gonna
anyway,
be a wall of dead ponies.
Okay. Fuck, that got dark.
Yeah. Well, because if they're live ponies, they're going to keep making gaps in the wall.
Well, if they're really good at staying, you could probably teach a pony to stay.
But you got to stack
Like
them
a
30
dog.
feet high.
But I mean, you could probably lean them up against something.
Yeah, but then all the Mexicans are just going to jump on the back of the ponies and ride them into town.
Stop it.
Jesus Christ. All
That's
right.
not bad.
All right.
All right.
I'm putting an end to that. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio with us tonight, Summer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. We'll have to have you back again to talk about polyamory and all that kind of stuff.
I would love to do
more
that.
in depth because it's interesting. And like I said, I know I have a ton of poly friends, but I don't really know a whole lot about the poly community.
I'll educate you.
Okay.
I'm going to look up more too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I know that other animals are monogamous as well. I'm not trying to make a case.
Yeah,
but it seems to me both of them
penguins
could be natural.
Yeah,
but
some orcas, not orcas like are dolphins?
Penguins.
Penguins are dolphins monogamous?
I don't know.
No, I think they're sluts.
Those are the two options.
Big sluts. Big watery sluts.
I saw one jerking off with a fish in a video once.
What?
Do you remember seeing that video where the dolphin's swimming around the tank and it's got a dead fish around its penis and it's rubbing it up against the wall where all the kids can see it?
I don't watch that kind of porn, Ryan.
You're not in the anime porn?
Anime porn?
Okay, I gotta go now.
Before we go, I want to make sure that we thank our Patreon subscribers, Larry Wilson, Marius Butrakowski, Dr. Dan Metz, boss from the 2SC podcast, to whom we pledge loyalty, Janet Uter, Let Them Eat Kafefe, Stephen Andrus, Mo Cowbell, Christy Kalbach, Anonymous, Casper, Megan Kennedy, Andrew Vodopich, Alicia Gerhardt, Brandy Hamrick, Jeremy Goodson, Angelica Pearson, Andy Faulkner, Utah Outcasts, Wes Aaron, Taylor Grin, fuck you and your I still don't qualify rules, Grant Larimer, aka the Purple Dragon, and Savadakuna and the Gaytheist, Mr. Aaron Burton. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
If you too would like to become a Patreon supporter, you can do so by going to patreon.com/GodlessRebelution and let us know what you would like to hear as part of the Patreon portion of the show. We would greatly appreciate that. Thanks again, Summer. It's been awesome having you here. We will definitely will have you back in the future, in the near future. I'm guessing sometime next month, maybe.
That would be great.
Schedules depending and all of that kind of stuff, because I know you're a busy lady.
I could probably squeeze you in.
Giggity. And so until next week, crucify that like button.
Leave a review to achieve nirvana.
And rate the show 5 times a day with your primary.
Can I get like really close to it?
Yes, actually, that would be preferred.
Can I touch my nose? Like on the thing?
Just know that there have been other noses touching it as well. So
Never mind, I won't do it then.
yeah, you've got a button there if you need to cough or sneeze or
fart through my mouth.
Whatever. Yeah, you're farting out of your mouth hole.
Farting has been known to be picked up on all microphones.
Yeah,
it has happened. Yes.
Yeah.
It was Ryan.
Don't
Seriously,
fucking
though?
lie. Yeah,
Dude, I swear to God, you better not fucking fart here tonight.
we have the clip someplace.
Kind of a small room.
Sick, dude. My levels?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they look good.
No, yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Is he related to any of the other Skarsgårds?
Yeah, they're all the same family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
There's
I was
like,
yeah.
fucking
His
like 8
parents
of them.
and his brothers and
Shit, he's only 27?
Mm-hmm.
And he's 6'4"?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And
That's a
he's
big Swedish meatball. We can mention what?
We can totally... Oh, shit. You almost got me. I'll say it. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I ain't afeared.
I ain't afeared of this. Talk about my grandma, and then I want to talk about polyamory.
Okay.
Which is weird. We're going to have this weird transition into.
Yes, indeed.
Wait, we need to think of a question for me to like talk about my grandma.
yeah, but we already started recording.
Oh, we're recording?
I can edit and do whatever
Oh,
in
fuck.
post. So
That's right. Oh,
not
this
like
isn't
is
live?
going out live.
If it was, that would have been funny, though.
And we're back from our commercial break.
Okay, we need to think of like a good transition.
Tell us about your grandma, Summer.
That was good.